What is up, everyone? It's me, Crystal Adorn, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. And in today's video, we will be discussing 6 reasons to trust God. Now, I know we've all been in those situations where we have questioned what's next, what's going to happen now. Does God hear me? Does God see me? Is God guiding me? Is God walking with me? And whatever it is that makes you question your faith or question God, or whatever it is that makes you feel like you don't understand what is next, I'm going to give you 6 reasons, and I can give you even more reasons, but I decided to give you 6 because these are some of the scriptures or verses I have read a lot of different times that has helped me, grow my faith in God. Not to say that it's perfect, child, I got a lot to work on. And I decided to sit outside today because it is so beautiful, it's so peaceful out here. So if you are standing in the need of some reasons why you need to continue to trust in God, or reasons to start trusting in God, then this video is just for you. So we're gonna jump right to it. So the first one is the first reason is He knows you by name. Isaiah 43:1, it says, "But now thus says the Lord, He who created you, O Jacob, He who formed you, O Israel, fear not, for I have redeemed you. I have called you by my name. By name, you are mine." Oftentimes, when I first read this verse, it really opened my eyes. And I remember my mom used to always tell me, God knows the number of hairs on your head. And that verse is in the Bible. God created us in His own image. He created every last one of us. And He gave us a purpose of being here on this earth. So don't never think that you're just here on this earth just to pay bills and to raise children or to get married. You're here on this earth for a certain purpose that only you and God knows. The reason why I started with that is because a lot of times I used to get so discouraged and be like, okay, God, why am I here? What is my purpose? Why? Like, what is it that you want me to do? And it's just like oftentimes God has like really spoke to me and just taught me like, hey, you are here for a reason. And oftentimes it's best that we need to work on ourselves and get ourselves where we need to be, because you never know who's watching you. You never know who is waiting on you to get yourself together or to work on yourself, because there's so many people that watch you. There's so many people that look up to you that you never know. And oftentimes I just had to teach myself that if God created me, then He created me to go out here and do a purpose. He created me to go out here and uplift other people, inspire other people. And the number one thing that I always prayed, and I still do pray to this day, is to let me be a guidance and light to other people. Let me be an example of who we're supposed to be or to what we're supposed to do. We're not perfect, but we're working towards that. There's only one person that is perfect, but the reason why I chose this one, like I said, is because a lot of times we get discouraged on what is our purpose, or why are we here, or sometimes we feel like we're not doing good enough, or we feel like we're not where we're supposed to be. And I had to open my eyes and realize wherever you are now, you're supposed to be there. It's not about our timing. It's not about me and timing. It's about God's timing. And I feel like that's one thing that we all need to learn, is about God's timing. So yes, He knows you by name. He knows what you're going through right now. He knows what you've been through. He knows the challenges, the tears you've cried. He knows all the heartbreaking moments that you have to endure. And trust and believe He will guide you through this. So always remember, He knows you by name, and He put you here on this earth to do some great things. You have to trust and believe in God, and I promise you, you will do it. So reason 2 is He is always with you. Joshua 1:9, it says, "Have I not commanded you? Be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid. Do not be discouraged, for the Lord your God will be with you wherever you go." Oh, this was one that really stood out to me the most. I feel like oftentimes we go through our daily lives forgetting that God is right there with us every step of the way. There's so many verses in the Bible where God talks about being with you every step of the way. And the one thing that I've learned when it came to me getting older, wanting to know what was next in my, future, or what is next in my career, what's next in, me after I graduate college, or what's next in general, or now is the time to make that move, or is it now to make that move? And the one thing I had to understand was sometimes you got to take that one step and let God do the rest. And if it's meant for you, He will give it to you. If it's meant for you, God will open up a door. He will make a way for you to get it. And the number one thing that I had to understand was just be strong, have faith. No, you're not going to have the strongest faith sometimes, but sometimes you got to just believe in Him that He's going to do it. Because if God doesn't do it, or if God says, hey, it's not time right now, then sometimes He wants us to work on ourselves, something that we need to change about us in order to get to where we need to be in life. So the next thing is just like, don't be discouraged. Sometimes we feel like, God, what do I do now? What's next? How am I going to do this? How am I going to do that? I can't. Like, it's just like oftentimes I feel like we have to trust God, because God can see things that we can't see. God can see down the road. God can see things that may, hurt us or may cause so much pain in our life that He can block it. So don't ever think that God is putting so much on you that you can't handle it, because if He put that on you, trust and believe He's going to make sure you get through it. So don't be discouraged of where you are now. Just get that mindset that you want better. You want to do better. And sometimes you have to learn how to take that one step. So yes, reason 2, always remember that God is with you. No matter what direction you're going, what road you're heading down, God is with you every step of the way. You take that one step and He will do the rest. And I had to learn that the hard way. I don't care if I'm driving down the road. I don't care if I'm shopping in Walmart. Whatever it is, God is with me. He's going to help you make the right decision. God is really going to help you make the right decision. No matter what you're concerned about tomorrow, or whatever you're concerned about down the line, or whatever it may be, just know that God is with you. Trust Him. Give Him whatever it is that's bothering you. And I promise you, He will work it out just for you. Reason 3, and this is like literally one of my favorite verses in the Bible, and it says, the reason 3 is God has a plan for you. Oh my goodness. I remember reading Jeremiah 29:11, and I remember I was sitting there thinking about what my future was, or what I wanted to do in life, or what God had for me. And I remember I opened the Bible, and the minute I looked down, it stopped at Jeremiah 29:11. And I read it, and it said, for I know the thoughts that I think towards you, said the Lord, thoughts of peace and not evil, and to give you an expected end. Oftentimes, we get in that mode where we wonder. We become puzzled. We become frustrated. We become just so anxious to know, God, like, what now? What is next? And God can just be like, girl, I got you. And it goes back to the first reason why, which is He knows you by name. If God created you, that means He has written out everything that you're gonna do bad. He's written out everything you're gonna do good. He's gonna write out. He's already written out the day you'll graduate from college, or the day you have a child, the day that you will get that dream job you want, the day you'll get your dream car. God has already done that. So it's up to us to know that God has a plan for us. And I remember that I would always just think like, what does God have for me? And sometimes, like, my mom would tell me, you could pray and ask God to give you a Honda a car that you can afford, or you could pray and ask God to give you just a 1-bedroom apartment, something that you can afford, and God can give you a 2-bedroom with the same price. Like, literally, God can move a mountain for you. The thing about it is, you have to trust Him, and you have to have faith to know that He can do it. Because sometimes we can pray and ask God for a little thing and he can bless us with a humongous thing. Like, that's how God works. Like, it's just all about faith and trust. And if we can put our trust that we'll get that paycheck every other week, or we'll get that paycheck once a month, we'll get that package delivered by next Friday. If we can put our trust to that, then we can put our trust into God. It's just that simple. And no, it's not as simple as some people make it, Sometimes we have to, I think it's about the faith part. That's the now faith. Now faith is when it's not the fact that you can't see it. You got to actually know that it's there. So faith is not something that God just be like, okay, here's a faith card. Put it in. That lets me know you believe. No, pray about it. Talk about it. Speak about it. And let God guide you the right direction of where you need to be, or what's going to happen, or what's going to be done. Sometimes you just have to have faith. You may not be able to see what he's doing, but you have to trust in your heart that you know what he's doing. So I felt like this one really fit into why to trust God, because he has a plan for you. He has a plan for you. And whatever it is you may feel like you don't know what's next, God knows what's next. And sometimes, like I said, once again, it's up to us to take that one step and let God do the rest. And I promise you, you will never, ever, ever feel like it's something that you can't do. And whenever you get to that mode where you feel like you cannot do it, or you don't know what's next, sometimes you gotta give God a call. Like, look, God, it's me. I'm gonna tell you something. I talk to God like he's my best friend. I talk to God like he's my mother. Like, God, it's me again. Hello, it's me, because I messed up again. I don't know what it is you want me to do. I'm confused. I feel lost. I don't know what it is you want me to do. And right then and there, that's letting God know, like, hey man, look, I don't know what you're doing, but I still trust you. And I find myself being like that. I'm like, man, God, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I don't know what. And God, like, I've literally been in that situation where I'd be like, God, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to say. I don't know how to go about doing this. And I remember one time God was like, just trust me. I got you 100%. I got you 100%. So that third reason being, like I said, he has a plan for you. God knows what's best for us. His ways are better than our ways. Because sometimes we can be going one direction. He'd be like, go that way. Because we never know what's down that road. We don't know what's down there that could hurt us or harm us or set us back from wherever we're trying to be. So just always remember, trust in God, because he has a plan for you. He has some big things for you. He has some great things for you. And sometimes you have to step out of your comfort zone. Sometimes it takes being uncomfortable to get comfortable to where you're trying to be in life. So the next time you feel like you don't know what's next, or you don't know what God got for you, call Jesus 1-800 God. I promise you, you will get through. He hears you. Don't ever think that he doesn't hear you. Reason 4. God is very understanding. And that is from Isaiah 40:28. It says, hast thou not known? Hast thou not heard? That the everlasting God, the Lord, the creator of the ends of the earth, fainted not, neither is it weary. There is no searching of his understanding. If God created this earth, and if God created the animals, God created everything around us, God created us, and it's nothing that he doesn't understand. It's nothing that he doesn't know already. It's nothing that he can't do. If God created us, he created the earth around us, what can God do? God can do anything. And that's why, real, if God lets you lay down at night, close your eyes, and he allows you to wake back up again, there is nothing that he cannot do. There's nothing too big. There's nothing too small. God is understanding. He knows what we need, what we desire. He knows who we are and what our life looks like before we do. God knows that we are trying, and he knows that whatever we are aiming to do in life, we can. God isn't one that is unsure of anything. He literally created this earth in literally like 7 days. God created this earth in no time. God created all of this that is around us. To wake up and see the green grass, to wake up and see the beautiful trees, the beautiful sky, to wake up and have food every single day, to wake up to be able to drive or put gas in your car. Sometimes you have to learn how to be thankful for what you have, because the other people out here that are not in your position. So don't ever think that God doesn't understand you. Don't ever think that God doesn't know what you're going through, because, sweetheart, he knows. He created you. So just remember, God is understanding. That is a great reason to trust God. He's understanding. He knows. He knows more than you think he does, sweetheart. So trust me. Remember, God knows, and God is understanding. And you can never go wrong by putting your faith and trust in God. Reason number 5. He will give you strength and be your refuge, which is from Psalms 46:1. God is our refuge and strength, a very present help in trouble. God, first of all, let's talk about a refuge. A refuge is what we know as a safe place, protection, and shelter. And God is that person that we can look up into and just be like, God, I see you, and I thank you. I thank you for moving. I thank you for protecting me from that accident that I just saw happen. Thank you for protecting me. Thank you for keeping me safe during that storm. Sometimes we have to realize that no matter how bad the battle gets, or no matter how challenging life gets, God is right there. Sometimes we have to go through difficult things to make us stronger, to make us wiser, to make us be prepared for what he's about to bless you with. And sometimes it's very, very, frustrating. Like, God, why? Like, why am I going through this? Why is it so hard for me? And it's just like, that moment when it gets hard, that's when you know God's gonna like do something big. Like, it's like he just be sitting there like, yeah, And I feel like God has a wonderful sense of humor. I'm just gonna point that out. I feel like God has a wonderful sense of humor, and I feel like everything that we've been through, everything that you've been through, God is about to move in your life. God is about to bless you. God is really about to do something big. So don't never get to that point where you feel like you can't do it. Because with God on your side, you can do anything. You can accomplish anything. You can achieve whatever your heart desire. Whatever it is that you feel like you want to do it. Whatever you feel like is too much, remember, God got it. God will get you through there. God will give you the strength you need. God can give you strength sometimes when you didn't even think you could have it. Like, that's how good that he is. Like, he will literally give you what you need to get you through the day, get you through the month, get you through that year, get you through that hard time that you feel like it's too much for you. He can do it. And lastly, number 6. He will lead you and watch over you. Psalms 32:8. I will instruct thee and teach thee in the way which thou shalt go. I will guide thee with my eye. Letting God lead can be a challenging process. And the reason why I say this is because sometimes we take matters in our own hands. And the number one thing my mom always taught me is to seek God first. Seek God first and let him lead you. Let him guide you. Let him show you the way to go. Letting God lead and letting God take control of your life, it's not going to be easy, because sometimes we be like, oh, I don't want to wait, or I can do that, or I can do this. And God be saying like, okay, go ahead. And you're going to be back here again saying the same thing over again. Let God lead you, because sometimes he knows, well, not sometimes, but all the time, God knows exactly what you're standing in the need of. Learning how to listen to him and pay attention to when he speaks. My mom, once again, I'm always going to mention my mom, because the one thing she also taught me was to always say when you pray or while you're praying is hard, God, give me the eyes so I can see and ears so I can hear. Sometimes God can speak to you through another person. Sometimes God can show you something, because whatever you just prayed about, he can show it to you, or he can speak to you, or another person sometimes can come to you, or you can be watching a video, or you can be reading or doing anything, and what you just prayed about, he can give you the answer right in there. God is on your side. God is on your side. He will instruct you. He will teach you. He will give you everything that you need to know how to make it. Like, the Bible is literally what he has given us to teach us how to go about living life. But the number one thing I've learned about that Bible is not about taking those verses or taking that scripture and painting it on your heart, or tattooing on your heart. It's about living what you're reading. If it says trust in the Lord with all thy heart and lean not to our own understanding, in all our ways acknowledge him and he should direct our path. Okay, well, let me start. I quote that verse every single day. Why? Because I'm getting it in my head, trusting God, whatever's going on, trusting God, let him lead you, let him guide you. You take one step, he do the rest. You take one step, he do the rest. I have to literally teach myself that every single day. So I gave you guys 6 reasons to trust God. And I know that I can give you even more reasons to trust God, because why not? So the first one was he knows you by name. The second one was he's always with you. The third one, he has a plan for you. The fourth one, he's understanding. The fifth one, he will give you strength and be a refuge. And the sixth one, he will lead you and watch over you. So whenever you feel like you don't know what's next, whatever you feel like you don't know what to do next, I promise you, give all of it to God. Don't ever think that something's too big or too small for him, because it's not. Look what he created. It's not too much. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'm really proud of myself that I made this video, because this was like this was a lot for me to do, because I could really sit down and just give you so many reasons why to trust God. But with the time that we're living in, we need a lot of motivation. We need some type of guidance. We need some type of leaders that are going to get us to where we need to be. So whenever you feel like you don't know what's next, you feel alone, you feel like you can't take all of this on your own, you feel lost, and you're wondering about what's next, always remember to put your trust in God. Trust in the Lord. And I believe that's from Proverbs 3, which says, trust in the Lord with all thy heart and lean not to thy own understanding. In all thy ways he will direct thy path. I promise you, whatever you're going through, God will be with you.